Miss Minoti Rawat. It's a burning topic of Delhi.
Good morning, everyone. My topic for this research is congestion pricing, a case of Delhi. As I have taken the case of Delhi, we all know that Delhi, being the capital of India, has a responsibility to have all its sector work very professionally and have good quality. So for that, Delhi government has taken various steps so that it provides a better traffic in Delhi by providing good network of metro till nearby areas and providing new buses, low floor buses, AC and as well as non-AC buses, and they withdrawal blue line buses so that there were no more killer buses in the city, and various other constructive measures like various building of various flyovers, bridges, and widening of roads. But still, we find that the vehicle population still is growing in Delhi, and it's leading to more congestion and issues in traveling and mobility in Delhi. So, even WHO in 2014 has declared Delhi as the most polluted city in the world. The main reason being the vehicular growth. It has increased to 6.89% recently in 2014 to 2015. And this is even after Delhi having the highest road density of 2,103 km per 100 square kilometer. Though Delhi government has recently adopted a travel demand measure of odd and even policy, which was being trialed for 15 days in January as well as in April. But if we see the scenario for the first trial was good, but recently the second trial was not up to the mark. So we can see the city is moving towards interesting opportunities, but we cannot depend on such regulatory ideas. So as Center of Science and Environment Director General Sunita Narayan said that the curbs on vehicles can only be an emergency measure and not a permanent one. Similarly, Mr. Naidu in the inaugural function said that traffic congestion is the major problem that Delhi is facing right now. So we should move to, there's a need that we should move to a sustainable idea like congestion pricing. My research question was, which factors can influence people to shift from private mode to public transport in Delhi? And specifically, I have taken Connaught Place as my case study. My research objectives were to assess the role of congestion pricing in determining mode choice behavior. For this, the methodology that I have used is, firstly, I have studied various case studies worldwide. Then I have analyzed the existing condition in the study area. I have computed the marginal congestion cost with the help of VOT, speed, and volume. And then with the help of orthogonal array, I have formed various scenarios and I have done a mode choice survey in which people have answered according to these scenarios and selected which mode will they prefer. And the analysis of the result is done by binary logic model. The concept of congestion pricing lies that if there's an additional driver entering in the road and causing external cost to the fellow rider, that much cost should be implied as a congestion cost to the other user so that externality can be valued. So the rationale of this charge implies that toll increases with the congestion levels since the cost suffered by users is increasing with the quantity of vehicles. Friedman in 1996 defined externalities as the goods that have an impact on welfare, which could be negative as well as positive, that is not taken into account by the agent producing them. And air pollution being the major negative externality for traffic congestion. There are few schemes that are operational in worldwide. some are like facility-based schemes, which are on a particular road or a canal, and like cordons, which is applicable in Stockholm, zonal scheme, which is operational in London, and distance-based scheme, in which, on the basis of distance, the congestion cost is applied. There are various types of technology used for electronic toll collection, like ANPR, automatic number plate recognition, dedicated short rate communications, in which when the vehicle enters the gantries, all the data of the vehicle is recorded in the database. And like a vehicle identification number, satellite system, and cellular networks like GPS and all, from which we can track the vehicle. The benefits of congestion pricing is that it's time saving. If the number of vehicles are reduced, the roads are more accessible, and thus people can save time in their journey. It also leads to wider economic benefits, as the destination is more accessible now, so the companies can access to a bigger and more varied pool of labor. Then it can also create it also creates investment and dividend, as in revenue is generated, and it can be used for improving public transport. Then it leads to promotion of behavioral change. That is, people opt for different options like NMT and walking, and for specific occasions only, they prefer their own their own private transport. Few worldwide experience, which are Singapore, London, Stockholm, and Norwegian cities. All these cities has different objective of bringing up congestion pricing. For example, Norwegian cities, their objective was to create revenues, whereas Singapore and London, the main focus was to curb the congestion. And Stockholm, on the other hand, was more focused on improving the environment of the city. So the first scheme that was applied was in Singapore. That was ALS, Area Licensing Scheme, in 1975. Though they introduced in 1998 the electronic road pricing, which was more highly technological feasible, and it provided very good results. Plus, they have included this thing that as far as the traffic increases during the congestion,
Please come to your own word,
okay.
because you'll be unnecessary.
Then there are few unsuccessful case studies, like Hong Kong and Edinburgh, in which political acceptance and people acceptance were the main default, which led to which caused burden of not introducing congestion pricing in these cities, and equity within the people, because people thought it will be beneficial for rich people and not for the poor. And technology was also one of the reasons. My study area has a population of 16.3 million as per as the 2011 census is concerned. And the major problem of Delhi is the rising number of vehicles, which is around 88.27 lakhs. And recently, it is close to 1 crore. And the contradiction is regarding the actual number of vehicles plying in Delhi, as there's a to and fro motion from NCR and nearby areas. So you really don't know actually on road how many vehicles are applying. This was my study area. This is Connaught Place. And in this, I surveyed 350 people. And in each survey, a person was asked for 4 scenarios. So I had sample of around 1,400. And in this, only car users were surveyed. And this was along 8 arterial roads. This study was taken, as we can see, without business as usual, if in 2018 we can see the V by C ratio will exceed even 2, which is not even possible. And so there's a need for a measure so that we can stop this traffic volume. This is a methodology for computing marginal cost. For the speed, this microscopic simulation method was used as the PCU counts were available from 2009 data and they were escalated. For VOT, it was through IRC, the 2009, cars VOT was 62.5, which was multiplied by the ratio of WPI and then multiplied by the ratio of PCI of Delhi and India. So the VOT of individual was 264. And similarly, by getting VOT, speed, traffic volume, the UK model of marginal cost was applied and marginal cost of 205 was resulted. The scenarios were prepared through orthogonal array, and the 3 variables that were taken were travel time, congestion cost, and parking cost. For public transport, for car commuters, and for public transport, 2 variables that were travel time and travel cost. For by fractional factorial array, there were 8 scenarios, and so through card A, there were 4, and in card B, there were 4. In this, the user were asked to select one mode in each scenario. Similarly, for card B.
Last 2 minutes, please.
Yeah. Binary choice model was used, and this was the result. As we can see, there's an inverse relationship between travel time and with the choice of mode. So it showed that people are more time sensitive. And even for the congestion cost, which was around 200 rupees, they show an inverse relationship. This also explains that respondents are reducing their travel if there's a congestion cost implied. But if we see the parking cost, it doesn't affect people's choice particularly. This could be because various offices provide free parking. Then if we see various scenarios, we can say that congestion charge of rupees 250 would lead to maximum number of shift or more from private cars to public transport. And if we see the scenarios without and with congestion, we can see it will help to decongest the roads if the congestion charge is implemented. And so I will conclude that people in Delhi were time sensitive as well as cost sensitive, and around 13 to 26 respondents will shift to public transport if congestion pricing scheme is implemented in Connaught Place. The congestion pricing measure in isolation also cannot help. So we need few other measures like carpooling and free ride in public transport and betterment of public transport so that people will shift to public transport. People right now doesn't actually understand the concept. So maybe the result may be more positive if when the congestion pricing will be implemented. Thank you.